Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Gran Turismo 7. Today's video is going to be something that I do each month, usually in preparation for an update. Obviously there is no news yet of an update, but it can only be assumed. Even if we do get a gap, it's my personal wish list for the next update that we get to Gran Turismo 7. Also, tomorrow I will be bringing you my community wish list. I've already put polls out on my Discord. That is a good place to get involved with it, as well as putting a post up on my community section of the channel. So if you do have any suggestions on what you want to see from Gran Turismo 7 in the next update and going forward, leave them down in the comments below and the top rated ones will be picked out and put in the video. But before we get into the video, I do want to kind of touch on where I'm at in terms of GT7. I feel like this game is now kind of fully featured, and I mean that in a way as like a lot of the things that have come post-release are now finally in the game, in the way of kind of like PSVR2 support, which is obviously fully implemented, which should realistically free up some of those resources to be focused elsewhere. We have things like the auction house, or you know, the selling of cars, whatever you want to call it, with its fluctuating prices, which was quite a more technical system than we assumed we were going to get. That is obviously in the game for a while now, so I feel like feature wise this game doesn't really need much in the way of that. They should realistically be focusing their resources on things like quality of life changes, events, you know, padding out that content and making the game, you know, a lot bigger and more in line with previous numbered GT titles. So point number one is something that I've been campaigning for the longest time every time I do a wishlist video, and I will continue to do so until it's finally implemented within the game. You probably all know what I'm going to say here: buyable engine swaps and buyable special parts. We all know at this point that the RNG and roulette system that is implemented currently within GT7 is absolutely god awful and needs to be completely wiped from existence. It is the worst system I think I've ever seen within any kind of game. The luck is 95% against you. You can guarantee once you get a ticket, no matter which one it is, you are more than likely going to get the worst reward from it, apart from maybe 5 to 10% of the time where you might actually get something at least a bit more than the minimum reward, no matter which ticket you are on. In terms of the engine swaps, they're absolutely, you know, god awful to get. The fact that if you see one actually turn up in a normal roulette ticket, you can guarantee you're probably not going to get it. I think the amount of times I've actually got a normal engine swap off of a standard ticket is probably 2-3 times tops. The fact that the dedicated engine swap tickets, I've probably had one. You know, a lot of people don't even know they're a thing, but you can get dedicated engine swap tickets from your daily workout challenge. Again, one instance of that, I think I got the 458 engine for the Alfa Romeo and such. The fact that special parts, when you do actually get them, are mostly disappointing because it's for a car that you'll never use. More than likely for me it'll be a safety car part, and let's be honest, I don't really use them. And in general, it's just a terrible system. It's a very, very poorly implemented system. It's been this way for over a year, even when they have made slight changes to the percentages and such, depending on your actual collector level. It's still not been good enough, and you can guarantee your rewards will be very, very poor. We need an entire revamp to the system. We definitely now need buyable engine swaps. There's that many in the game that there's no reason for them to be hidden behind RNG anymore. You know, they all have a price tag attached to them. Same with these special parts, they again all have a price tag attached to them, so why are they not buyable to the player? This is a small little change that could massively shake up the game and just open up all kinds of possibilities. And again, you know, it kind of leads me into point two, that the roulette system needs a massive revamp. It is terrible, you know, really, really poor. So that is going to be point 1 and 2 put together. So with point number 1 and point number 2 kind of being interchangeable and kind of around the same thing, let's move on to point number 3, which is going to be a massive revamp of the credit system within this game. I personally don't see microtransactions as that big of a deal within this game. In all honesty, they are priced so poorly and so expensive that I can guarantee nobody will be touching them. The fact that 2 million credits costs around about £17, which will probably take you around about an hour and a half to go and actually earn within game, is just really poor, and that is the top tier of buyable credits. So for me, microtransactions have never been a big deal because they really make no sense in terms of actually going out and buying these 20 million plus legendary cars. They're really not worth your time, and I can't really imagine people going in and actually buying them. It was also noted that they didn't hit their target in terms of microtransaction sales early on in the game's life cycle, which to me also proves the point to Polyphony that us people that play Gran Turismo 7 are generally just not bothered about it. We don't want to touch them, we want to be able to earn them, and the best way to do that is revamping that credit system. The fact that some events are almost 20 minutes long and will pay out all of 15,000 credits and such with a clean race bonus, but then you'll have other events that are very easy and very simple, paying out 700,000 in 23 minutes is just very bizarre. There's no real kind of, I guess, link to what a event should realistically pay out within this game, and I feel like it definitely needs revamping, and a lot of these smaller events need their price up in. They need to kind of bring the whole in-game economy together as one and make it all kind of make sense with each other. Nobody wants to grind for 11 or 12 hours running these same events for a single car within a video game, let's be honest. And that's going to lead me straight into point number 4, endurance races, longer races, bigger high-paying events. They've always been commonplace in numbered Gran Turismo titles, even in GT Sport. As the game went on and more things were added, there was a ton of endurance races there, and there just isn't that within GT7. The max we have is 60 minutes at Spa, and there's one of them. There is a couple of 30-minute races, whereas, one's just absolutely terrible paying. The Road Atlanta one, which is personally one of my favourite events within the game, pays a measly 300,000 credits or so, whereas the Le Mans one pays around about 800,000. So again, it really just doesn't make any sense. Again, it kind of goes back to the economy, but overall we do need longer events. Push over that 1 hour barrier, give us 2 hours, 4 hours, 8 hours. I really don't care. I'm happy to sit there and race around for that length of time and just have that fresh endurance racing content. I remember GT5 sinking absolutely hours into them endurance races, even the games prior to that as well. But the most modern one I can remember is GT5, where I was doing the 24-hour race, and it took me around a week of pausing my PlayStation 3 and such. And we want more of those. They were fantastic events. They were completely unique and felt like a proper end game reward, and there just isn't those kind of events in the game. They're quick to add in 5-6 events at a time, but you can guarantee 99% of the events that they add in are just not really any use at all. In fact, the last time I can think of any proper useful events that were added in was the likes of Spa, Sardinia and such, which we've been running for almost a year at this point. We definitely need some fresh, longer events, because to be quite honest, the grind is just getting very tedious, and there's probably a lot of people that got around about 200 cars and then just gave up on the grind as a whole. So definitely this game needs some better events, some longer events, and a revamped structure to the in-game economy. And my final point is going to be point number 5, which is actually a very tiny change, but I feel like it would massively again benefit the game. The interface in this game isn't always great, and the fact that we had the race shop added, I believe in 1.15, was a great addition. However, it's very much lacking. If you're in there, you can only purchase select items, so you'll have tyres, ballast and such. What I really want to see, instead of having to back all the way out to the menu, is the option to purchase all of the tuning parts. Put the tuning shop and the aero shop within the event screen. So what I mean is, let's say we go over to Sardinia and I go in with a 600 pp car and I want to kind of buy more parts to get a bit more power out of it. Putting the tuning shop in that event option, or in all of the events, will allow me to essentially just build my car there and then and get straight out on track and not have to go all the way back to the menus. It's a very poorly, I guess, implemented system, and it definitely needs to be expanded upon. So those are 5 things I want to wishlist for the next update. If I was trying to list everything. In all honesty, I'd probably be here all day just nitpicking at absolutely everything. Don't forget to leave your suggestions down in the comments down below. The top rated ones will be put into the video. If you can, try and make them a bit different from obviously what I've said. I don't want to really be repeating it, but I do want to get out there what my community wants as well, not just me. This way we can really tell Polyphony where we want this game to go and kind of what direction we want to see it pursue. So that's going to be it from me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, turn those notifications on so you don't miss an upload from me. I upload GT7 and motorsport related content each and every day for your viewing pleasure. I want to say a big thank you to all of my channel members. You're absolutely fantastic, as well as my sponsors, the Controller People and Poggers. I'll have my Discord, my Twitter and my donation link down in the description down below. If you do want to donate, it all goes back into the channel and helps me produce bigger and better content. Thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic day. I will see you all later on. Peace.